This Saturday, Luton Town play Preston North End. I've got this excitement that Luton could potentially win a game of football and we might see something completely different on the weekend. I'm still in the mindset of that this Luton Town squad just needed a new voice and then things will improve. I might be delusional in saying that we might have the same issues like we did under Rob Edwards. I'm still expecting one or two issues that will still remain, but hopefully over time Matt Bloomfield can figure those out. But I just have this positive energy that Luton can do something. Of course, this game is Matt Bloomfield's first game in charge of Luton, and we just need to go to the Kenny and just support the boys. We know what the situation is. We know we are one of those teams in conversation of potentially going down. We need to try and get out of it, and what a way to do that by winning Matt Bloomfield's first game in charge. But I have to admit, despite the unknown what could happen this Saturday, I just have this positive energy that Luton can walk away with the 3 points. But before we go into detail about this particular game, let's look at the last time we played against Preston, which was at Deepdale, where Luton lost 1-0 away from home. I did go to the match and it was a game for me that Luton, we controlled possession. We were creating opportunities, but they were more half chances. They weren't really clear-cut opportunities. But Preston, they were clinical when they did eventually get their chance. They didn't get too many, but they defended extremely well. Off the ball, they were great. They killed the momentum at perfect opportunities. And we just weren't able to get over the line and get a goal. I thought it was quite harsh that we actually did lose the game. I did felt we deserved something, but we've said that a few times this season. But Preston, since that game, I guess they haven't really been consistent enough. They are the draw specialists in the division. They love a draw. And away from home, they're not the greatest. So Preston currently sit 15th in the Championship. If you go by form, they're currently 11th over the last 5 games. Away from home, as I've mentioned, they're not the greatest. They sit 19th in that table. They've only picked up 8 points on their travels. They've picked up 1 win overall. For me, this year, when watching Preston, their attackers are very isolated. There's a lot of similarities between Luton and Preston, whereas the defence needs to tighten up a little bit, which will then allow more opportunities in the game for their attackers. Whereas at times, when you watch Preston, their attackers are very isolated on their own. You're asking a lot. Despite not getting many chances, they're still quite clinical in front of goal. They do take their opportunities, but they just don't get enough. And that's why they end up drawing the game. They end up going ahead in a match, but then they try and defend it out, but they just can't, and that's why they drop a lot of points from winning positions. I've noticed with Preston, they have strengthened their defence. Lewis Gibson recently been recruited by Plymouth Argyle. Once they iron out 1 or 2 things in that defensive department and get stronger at the back so they become more difficult to break down, I do think their strikers like Greenwood, Emil Rees, the guy that likes to bite players, and also Will Keane, will have more opportunities in front of goal, which will then help Preston get a second and a third goal in a game. In terms of Preston's style of play, they love to go long. They average 26.4 long balls a game. I feel like their defenders will just go long to Emil Rees and the guy that likes to bite players. I would pronounce his name, but I don't want to make a fool of myself. And they want their strikers to hold the ball up and then play it out wide and then get further forward. Brad Potts being a very important player in that department. He's out injured, which is great news for Luton, but they do have someone in Josh Bowler who can also do the same thing. Maybe not as good as Brad Potts, but Brad Potts always scores against Luton, so I'm kind of glad that he's not available for this game. In terms of formation, Preston do play a back 3. In their last away game, they lost 3-1 against West Brom and they played a 3-4-3. Not too sure if they will play it the exact same way, but I can imagine a back 3 will definitely be expected. They like to play with width and they are at a very aggressive side. In terms of their strengths this season, I've already mentioned aerial battles. They are very good in the air. Their centre-halves love it, so I don't think Luton should be going long. We should try and dictate the play and control it. They're also quite dangerous at free kicks, so let's try and avoid giving away cheap fouls in silly areas, which they could cause some real damage. Their weaknesses, they do give away possession quite a lot. They go long all the time, so that's one of the reasons why they do lose the ball quite a bit, but they also are not the best ball playing side in the division. Protecting the lead, they sometimes go 1-0 up in games. They've conceded a lot of points from winning positions. So this is definitely an area where if we do go 1-0 down, we don't need to panic too much. There is chances that Luton can get back into the game. They also give away fouls in stupid areas, so Luton, I can imagine, will get plenty of set pieces in this game. Can we be deadly from them? We have been quite good this season from them, but I want us to be a little bit more dangerous from open play. Use set pieces as a backup, open play first. And lastly, they do allow teams to have space and time from outside the box. So if we have the opportunity, and sometimes we do, take it. Have a go. You don't know what could happen. A deflection, a thunderbolt from 30 yards out. Just have a go. I've never, in all my time supporting Luton, have had fans moan because we had a shot at goal from distance. Never hear people moan. Unless it's Pelly and he kicks it, you know, the other side of Luton. Most of the time, people don't moan. In terms of team news for Luton, Alfie is still out. He might be back for the Oxford game, but it's important not to rush him. We don't need to rush him. Games are coming quick and fast, so I'd rather have Alfie as a fully fit player ready to go. Baptiste is also still out. He's got a calf injury. Following Lamine Fanny Dabu injury against Nottingham Forest, his ankle is still playing up, so he's not available for this one. Zach Nelson is all good. I think there was suspected concussion, but he's all good to play. And Chong is also currently out injured, which is frustrating because I do think Chong will suit Matt Bloomfield's style of play. So overall, the way I'm looking at this game is I think Luton will dictate the play. I think we will control it. I do think Preston will come to Luton and want to battle us. They want to go long and make it hard, difficult. They're going to be a little bit aggressive. There's going to be plenty of long balls. Their centre-halves are going to try and dominate as much in the air. We don't need to play that game plan anymore. It's very clear that Matt Bloomfield's style of play is more ball on the ground, let's move it properly. We don't need to go long. So what I want Luton to do is kind of dictate the play, use our wide players as much as possible, and just try and create as many opportunities from open play. Try and win set pieces when we can. If we're in a good area out wide and the option isn't available, win that corner, win the free kick, get those fouls in, and try and use the set pieces more as a backup rather than as a main priority, because open play this year for Luton, especially in the last couple of weeks, we've been absolutely terrible, and I want us to be a little bit more exciting, and I do think Matt Bloomfield also wants the same thing. Out of possession, he wants us to be a bit smarter. He says there's been elements of our play that has been good. I do think if we set up correctly out of possession, Preston will just gift us back the ball. We need to make sure we're winning those second battles, those third battles in the midfield. I think having two number 6s is going to be perfect. My starting 11 is this: Thomas in goal, right back Walters, the two centre backs in Holmes and McGuinness. Hopefully they can do a much better job in dealing with whatever aggressive striker Preston decide to put up top. It needs to be better than what happened in the QPR game where we just got dominated by QPR's dominant striker. Left back I would have Amari Bell. The two number 6s in front of the back four I would play Nakamba and also Kraus. Isaiah Jones to be the right attacker. I would actually play Walsh in the number 10 role. I want to see how that looks. Left attacker I would play Zach Nelson, and then up top Morris. I have to be honest, I could be completely wrong with this starting 11. There's a lot of unknowns going into this game, being Matt Bloomfield's first game in charge, but I'm just really excited to see what could potentially happen with this Luton Town side. So overall, that is the end of this video. I'm feeling positive going into this game against Preston. I think just don't lose, get something from the match. 3 points would be absolutely amazing going into the game against Oxford on a back of a win, and then stopping this losing away streak away from home against them, and then go to Millwall, perform well against them. We can really start off well here by getting the 3 points. Of course, Preston will make it as extremely difficult for that to happen. They're going to make it really ugly. Let's not play to their game plan. Let's play our game plan and just try and dictate the game. But I'm excited. Lots of unknowns. We're going to learn quite a lot from these first 90 minutes under Matt Bloomfield's style of play. I'm excited to see his game plan will be in-game, like in terms of the subs. How quick does he make his substitutions? How quick do we iron out certain things? Has he noticed one or two things that need to be sorted straight away? All these sort of stuff I'm really excited about seeing, and I just can't wait. I hope, you know, it starts well for him. We need results. We know where we are. We know the situation, but right now the players, they just need our support. Let's get out this situation and and rebuild and go again in the summer, but one game at a time. So those are my thoughts. Drop a like. Let me know your score predictions down below and let me know how you're feeling. My score prediction, I'm going to go with a 2-1 win. I have a good feeling that we can win against Preston North End. Subscribe to my channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Before I end this video, I just want to say a massive thank you to all my channel members. If you want to become a channel member on my channel, click the link in the description below or click the join button on my channel, which will give you the option to become a member. If you become a channel member, you get exclusive perks and you help support me as a content creator. I'll see you in the next video.